Today I am setting up the timeline for for most of the video clips that I've got done so far. So first of all, I want to combine the first two parts of this shot on the timeline down here. So if I drag the first part down here, this is the start of the video, and you can see it, it kind of plays along, but it doesn't have audio. The green part there is the audio, but because it's just rendered and I haven't added any sound effects, there's actually no audio, so there's no point having that there. But you'll see it if I click backspace to delete it, it deletes both of them instead of just the audio. So to fix this, if I right click and I can unlink them by unticking this, and now I can actually select them separately now, and if I delete this one, it won't affect the top one. So I'll have to do that for all the clips, which isn't an issue. So again, I'll just delete it. So now I have these two. If I play it, obviously the aim was for them to perfectly blend together. So there you can kind of notice a cut. It's not too bad, but what I did notice is if I zoom in a lot with Control Plus, each of these is a frame here now because I've zoomed in that much. I'm looking at it frame by frame. What I did notice here is that it tilts forwards a bit. It tilts forwards once, twice. Tilts forwards 2 times, but then when the first frame of this, it tilts back up quite a fair bit. So to actually make it blend better, I can make it cut up here-ish actually, and remove a few of the ending frames. So now, boom, there's a much more subtle difference because it doesn't, teleport back up. So obviously my burger wasn't perfectly positioned because that would have basically been impossible. But if I remove a few frames, I can actually get it so it's almost perfect looking. The only issue with it now, you could say, is it maybe doesn't bounce enough. It could do like a few more little bounces. But the reason I didn't do that was because for some reason, no matter how I positioned it, the next few frames of this video in the animation, it would almost sit still and then it would bounce up suddenly and just bounce in the air and the bird would fly off. It was really weird, but there was not really any way to avoid it when it was perfectly flat and it was landing on something perfectly flat. But it's fine now because it looks pretty realistic in the way that it bounces. And obviously I don't really want to move these about like that or anything. So, because I basically want them to be the same shot, what I can do is link these two together. Now that that's done, and I could extend this out whenever I want, so say I want to make this ending bit last longer, I can just actually if I use Control and Slash, which doesn't work on this keyboard because it's new, but normally when I use Control Slash it adds a cut, so instead of using the shortcut I can do this, so I can click that, and then wherever I click it cuts the video in two. So say I want to cut it here, it'll pull it out, and then all these frames are identical, so I can extend these out or duplicate them so they just go on forever, or not forever, but as long as I want them to. So that's another option. Then I've got other shots like the hammer one here. This is the fully lit one, and then it's the next shot after that that's a bit strange. So then again, it's the same process of setting up and deleting these. The pipes one, I can get that on. Get rid of that, and then I can do things like swap them about. So these two will move together now. Obviously these are at the end of the timeline. So at this point, I'm not going to do any cutting until I've got the audio because I kind of want to. I will have to do a fair bit of cutting because the pacing's quite slow and it doesn't need to be this long. I could speed that up as well if I wanted, and speed these up as well. You know, like, say if I wanted this part here to be shorter, because what I was originally going to do, and I might still do, is during this, you know, these 2 seconds or whatever where nothing happens, I'll have a motor sound, so it's, you know, implied that the pipes are lowering down towards it and they get louder and louder, and then eventually it comes into frame. But you know, I can cut it there, shorten this part here down, to make it not as long, you know, increase the pacing of it. What else? I can do lighting adjustments as well. I doubt I'll need to because I did spend quite a while on the lighting, but just for reference later, when I add the spark sound effects to this, yeah, the animation, the sparks animation, what I can do is if I select, say this is the sparks clip, to make them overlap so the sparks are, you know, over here, I would put it up above it, which puts it on a layer on top of it so it appears above it. And then using this bit here, I can adjust the position of it, and like resize it and rotate it and stuff like that. So obviously right now I'm controlling this, but if it were the sparks video, it'd just be the little sparks in the center. So I can change the size of them and stuff like that and position them so they appear here. But another important part is to give it a similar, like, quite orangey color, and like maybe balance the colors out a bit, I can go here, and it's these 4 bits here primarily that you can change your colors on. So if I, yeah, there we go. So I have to select this. This bit here is actually quite similar to nodes. I won't need to use it though. I just need to select the first one. This is basically like nodes for the colors of the video. I know, but like here, I can make it more green, more red. Obviously, it wouldn't be changing the video, it'd be changing the color of the sparks. So if it's a bit too yellow, I can drag it up this way. I'll make it even more orange, as you can see. So, you know, I can just make subtle changes like that to the sparks video. So like, doing stuff like that's called color correcting. It's when you make all the colors similar, or, you know, how you want them to be, basically just doing adjustments like that. But that's how I'll mostly be doing it. And then for the audio as well, there'll be I can import media and I can import the sound effects, and they'll just be listed here. And then I can just do the same thing of dragging them and putting them below here as to when they play.